Hello. Hello, hello. I'll just give some time for people to come in. I believe we're live. Let me check on my phone. There's going to be a VOD on the channel, so if you want some or what am I saying? So you can watch this later, but I'm not making some food. I'm eating some food. I can't get this out in an English sentence. Um, yep. Okay, looks like we are live. Let me turn off the sound of my phone and double check. Yep, I think we are. I don't think my settings are optimized, so I'm so sorry if things look weird and if I look a little bit grainier than usual. I didn't quite set up my settings for stream, so that is my bad. I also might be a little quiet. Let me actually change that. Hey, how's it going, Sleeveless? I'm seeing you in my description, not my descriptions. I cannot speak this evening. I'm seeing you in my stuff all the time. Did you solve that problem on the Discord? How's it going? I'm just eating some food. So I'm sorry if I mute and look away. I'm trying to not look disgusting on chat or on live. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why you were having that problem specifically, but sometimes if you go into the clip without um, making a fusion clip, it does some weird stuff. Uh, so you just have to like make it a fusion clip or put it into a fusion clip, and then it works a little bit better. It's kind of weird. Am I still live? What's going on? YouTube's yelling at me saying my sizing is wrong. Can I change that live? I don't think I can. Okay, I'll just leave it then. I don't know why. It wants me to be at a different resolution. I'll just keep it at that then. Am I too quiet? Am I loud? What's going on? I maybe am too quiet. This is usually how I have it for recording, which usually isn't that loud, because I usually boost a lot of audio and change a lot of things in the actual editing. So today I'll be working on a macro for a future product. I just figured that I'd work on a macro and chat with you guys, answer any questions, just to get more personality out there. I feel like I'm just some guy talking to a camera half the time, and I don't actually get to talk with you guys. Just like occasionally mention some stuff to you in the comments, but I mean, streaming is a pretty good way to talk with you. So I mean, why not? And I'll probably talk slower when I'm streaming too than when I record. when I get recording, I start getting into it and I just get really fast and it just keeps ramping up and getting faster and faster. So it's something I'm working on. I'm hoping to get slower as I go, as I get more comfortable in front of the camera, as I get more comfortable with what I want to say. Should I have some music in the background by any chance? I feel like just me talking may be a little boring because I won't be talking all the time. Music? Okay. I'm trying to see. Is there like a For You playlist that you can just play on on Epidemic Sound? There's a short, like, more of what you like section. Is there playlists? Yeah, I'll have to put on my headphones too because I won't be able to hear this. I can't put my downloaded stuff because I have sound effects in there. Actually, you know what? I could just play like more royalty free, like Nintendo songs or something. My nose got itchy right there for a second. Let's see. I don't know. Nintendo royalty free music. Is there a playlist? There is. Okay, you can't hear that yet. Let me get the audio in here. Oh, that's loud. Okay. How is that volume? Does that feel good? Does it feel maybe a little loud, possibly? Probably blew out your eardrums when I first started playing it. I didn't realize it'd probably be all the way too loud by default. My bad. Barely hear it? Oh, shoot. What about around there? How's that feel? Okay, looks like it is still playing when I'm over here. Do you want my camera in here? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Oh, my browser is also playing. There we go. My bad. Do we also want my camera on this screen? Otherwise, it'll just stay on the full screen. I can throw me in here if we want. That's just me. Hello. Hey, I'm on the top corner now. Forgot to put that in here. I haven't set up my OBS in a while. I've just been using full screens. I set up 2 OBSs to record my videos. So it's like, I don't want to hear the music. It's going to be too distracting. I don't know. I feel like this is good. People can see me. I can communicate better this way. I can actually like look like I'm talking to you. But before we do that, I'm going to just chill out, eat some food, answer some questions. Why 2? So 1 is for the screen recording, so I have a full quality version of that recording. And then 1 is my camera, so I have a full quality version of that. It's just easier to edit that way too, so I don't have like an embedded version like this up in the corner or something that I have to like edit around and I can't see behind me. It's just better to have like 2 full screen versions of each recording. I just sync it up pretty easily in post. It's not too bad. I'm going to mute for a second and just eat a little bit. Go ahead and ask me some questions and I'll be answering them as we go. I'm sorry that you guys didn't watch me eat, but I was cooking right up to stream because I was working on another project that is going to be done in maybe a month, which I'm really excited about. It's something that may be really revolutionary to DaVinci. So fingers crossed that it all goes well and it turns out as good as I'm hoping it will. I might mention that a little bit on stream and I might actually show it off just to give you guys a little showcase, a little bit of a preview as to what's to come. But what you saw on my other screen over here, this is another preset I'm working on. I'm working on a whole pack of presets similar to Jake Whip and his preset pack. Am I quieter over here? No, I think I'm okay. Jake Whip and his editor's collection, I'm making a pack similar to that, but obviously with my own take, and I'm using Anim Utility as its basis, so it's going to be called Pix Utility. I'm still in the corner. That's going to be called Pix Utility, and it's going to be really advanced, really complicated, not complicated, but really customizable packaged presets. There's one for my screen animations, there's one for subscribe animations. I'm going to be releasing, I think, 5 to start out with and just keep building on more. So I got stuff for 3D cameras. I got stuff, I'm going to build like an ultimate text maker. So like any text animation you want, you can do, including, I'm going to try to do some complex stuff in that too. But we'll see how that turns out. But that is my idea. It's going to be pretty cool stuff, I hope. But I'm going to mute for just a second, just so I can eat a little bit. But ask any questions about the video that we had today, or feel free to just ask me questions about me. I'm happy to answer. Just enjoy the tunes. How's it going, Sentinel? You doing good today? Of course, right as you chat back, I take a bite. I'm doing good. I'm pretty excited about some projects I'm working on. You might have just heard me say that. But yeah, I got some really cool stuff in the works, and I can't wait to show you guys. It's really cool. There's going to be different varieties of it, so hopefully it's going to be open to anybody, but there's going to be some really advanced stuff that's going to have to be pretty high priced. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. I just want to give you guys a teaser today. There we go. Just for anyone who comes in, they can just see what we're up to so that they're not confused why I'm quiet for a second. Yeah, so if you're new and you're wanting to talk, go ahead and just ask me any questions about anything. Happy to answer questions about me or DaVinci, about the video from today. I make macros. If you haven't seen me before, I make macros and scripts and tutorials in DaVinci Resolve. So yeah, I am an open book when it comes to Resolve, and somewhat for myself. If you ask me something real personal, we'll talk privately. But yeah, feel free to ask away. I might say this wrong. I haven't taken Spanish in like a couple of years. No, donde estás is not what I think it is. No hablo español is what I was thinking of. I don't know how I got donde estás. ¿Estás? What am I saying? No, donde está. I don't know what that is. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've taken Spanish. I'm sorry. I took it in college. I took French in high school. So for the logo and the macros, you have to... It's a little bit difficult to explain really quickly, but if you will, I'll actually open up. Oh, is it? Oh, that's not at all what I was thinking. It was off the top of my head. Let me find the script for Anim Utility real quick, and I'll show you. Oh, I have it closed. That's why I can't find it. Where are you? Up here somewhere. Actually, it's better if I just show you this. I don't know why I was trying to show you the most complicated thing I have to show you. So this right here, if we delete the stuff we don't need, let me put on word wrap. So we need to convert your image to base 64, and that's how you can put it into your macros. Is it? I think it's that. So I think it's that. I'll have to double check that later. But you have to have something like this as a user control on either a node or on your macro itself. The -1 puts it in the header part of your macro or tool, node, whatever it is. And then you just fill in like this section with the base 64. And I use a website to convert it generally. Yeah, here we go. I use this website to convert all my base 64 images. You can get the URL right here. I'll actually post that URL in chat just so you can get it real quick. I'm burping now. Can I post in chat? I can. There we go. I use that for everything that I put in a macro for all my images, I mean. And I believe you just put it in here. Let me see if I can get more details in here. So yeah, it needs to be, so this is HTML, by the way. You like embed it with HTML, but that's not important for you to really know. As long as you kind of know the pattern of what you're looking for, that's all you really need to really know about. All this is the base 64, all this jargon. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the ending of the string. This is still the base 64. But yes, I have a tool coming out that will hopefully solve that issue to make it easier to make macros. Yeah, there's a lot of like hidden things when it comes to macros that are like so niche. Oh, dude, it's so confusing. If you want, I can put the code for that. I have it in a form on We Suck Less that I sent to somebody. But let's get to the most recent post. There is, or I can put this in the Discord in just general chat if you want, or even in help, depends, it doesn't really matter. And we can just put that in there so it's easy for you to find. Yeah, here we go. Oh, so this is a little bit different version, but it should still do the same. This is the code that I'm using in something else. Let me go and drop it in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, by the way, that link is down in the description. You can just easily hop into there and join this over here. I answer questions. We just hang out and chat sometimes. When you first join, you will have to wait, I think, like 5 minutes. And then you're able to chat. There's just like a waiting period to like give you time to read and everything, so I don't have people just coming in and spamming me with a bunch of stuff that, you know, like links and stuff right after joining. That should work. There we go. It's just in the general chat there for you. And I put it in a code block so it's easy to tell. Like everything apart. Welcome, Sentinel, to the Discord. I'm glad to have you joining us. But yeah, hopefully by the end of the stream you'll be able to like chat with us and stuff and see that. You should be able to see chat history. I hope I set everything up correctly. I've only set up like a couple of Discords before that I never really ended up using. So if I didn't set it up correctly, I'm sorry, I'll work on that. I haven't had a community in Discord before, but hopefully we can get a cool DaVinci Resolve macro maker community going. That's pretty cool, right? I'm gonna finish eating my food. I think I'll also do like a stream room. Like right now I just hopped in the Discord called in the Discord audio channel for stream room. I might do that for future streams so that like if you want to have a chat with me, hop in there, let me know in chat, and we can have an actual conversation, and like I can look at something that you have a problem with or whatever. If you want to. I just think that's a good idea if there's like any problems. Recently exploring Fusion to create my macros. Yeah. I've been working in Fusion, DaVinci Resolve as a whole, about 8 years. Fusion, oh, my hair is messed up over here. Fusion maybe 5 or more. No, you're fine, Sentinel. Don't worry. Fusion maybe like 5 years, give or take maybe 1. And I've just been exploring a lot of stuff. I first learned just regular motion graphics, and then I discovered making presets for Premiere Pro with After Effects, and I thought that was really cool. And then we hopped over to DaVinci Resolve for the company I was working at, and then we hopped into doing stuff just in Resolve, and I realized there are like there's like no presets for DaVinci. So I took it upon myself to learn how to do that. So I learned macros, and I have gained so much knowledge that now I'm ready to share it with the world. And I'm still learning to this day. I learned something new today that I still need to look into to figure out how it works, because it's really cool. It has to do with the pages. My hair is so messy. It has to do with the pages in making your own macros. You can have different icons, and you can have like custom pages. It's super cool. But it will need a little bit more studying and learning. Um, Editing is my full-time job. Macros is not necessarily. Um, I do make macros for the job, but not all the time. It's sort of like every now and then my job's like, hey, we need a title for this company, or we need a lower third for this company, or, you know, stuff like that. But I do edit for them full time, and I do a lot of motion graphics for them full time. But I do a lot of like business videos. Hopefully, though, I won't have to work there full time. Hopefully, with a future thing that I keep mentioning, wink, 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 wonk, wink, wink. Hopefully, that'll help me go full time doing this, because it's gonna be big. Hopefully, I am in talks soon with a few other YouTubers, so fingers crossed that things go well there, that they like the product and they like what I'm working at. Hopefully things get going there. Being a full-time editor is nice. That is like consistent pay. Because I work like at an hourly job, not like a per project job. I do also do freelance stuff as well. So if you have like a macro or a script that you want made for any reason, either to sell or for your company, I'll do that. I also can edit and motion graphics and a bunch of different stuff for freelance as well. Uh, but I will say, working at an actual like 9 to 5 like job full time is nice, but it is very crippling to your enthusiasm for projects. Since you're constantly going on projects over and over again, jumping from one person to the next person, and there's no pause in between. Now, generally, you don't want a huge pause in between when you're a freelancer, but having to jump constantly from job to job, and then you have a boss overhead who's like constantly being like, hey, this needs to be to my standard, and it's just, it can get a bit draggy, and you want a break, which is why I do this stuff. You know, make videos, make macros, script things. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun, but it's a lot of work. That is something to note. It is a lot of work and a lot of studying. It's basically going back to school, but not in the field I studied. Instead of video making, it's now coding. like people can always go to Casey. I mean, I recommend they go to Casey Ferris. He's amazing, and he has a lot of very general topics. I like the more specific things. I like to go over specific parts of Fusion that people are interested in. Mostly what I'm interested in learning and like teaching about. And I think macros are definitely a huge thing that need to be grown bigger. So hopefully with this series that I'm building maybe every week until something happens, hopefully I can help grow the community of macro makers and we can get some really cool stuff made, because like Mr. Alex Tech and Casey Ferris have a podcast and they are always saying the one complaint they are constantly hearing: there is not enough macros and presets for DaVinci. So we definitely need to get more people making macros. Crapload of camera shakes. I haven't looked for camera shakes, but where do you look for macros generally? There's a lot of pretty cool stuff in the DaVinci Resolve Discord that gets posted in the presets channel. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. Sometimes it is a lot of like similar things, to be fair, but the one guy, Shark, he had some pretty cool stuff in there. I don't know if he knows how to make macros, specifically like text macros. For some reason they're all effects, but I don't know. Maybe I put it in the wrong place. And I think that a lot of people like compare DaVinci Resolve's amount of macros to Premiere Pro's amount of macros, and they just can't. They're just nowhere near the same. Yeah. You want to contribute your macros to the community, starting a little in video games. Yeah, there is some cool stuff you maybe want to look at from, I think, Alex and from Patrick, both people on YouTube. By the way, do I have to say their full like channel names? Do people not know who I'm talking about? But they've been making a lot of really cool stuff. Let me see. Yeah, like Sterling has some really cool stuff. That is true. Fortnite kids are always looking for shakes, glows, and presets. That is very true. Yeah, that's true. But like professionals, there's not like a lot of crazy fun text things for professionals. And I mean like professional editors, but at the same time, a lot of professional editors, I feel like, would just use Fusion. I say that, and I work with the company people who don't use Fusion but just edit videos. So maybe there's a big community of people who would use nice, amazing templates. Alex is Mr. Alex Tech. He does a lot of really cool stuff. He's one of the bigger ones, along with Casey Ferris. If you need, I can throw a link to you in the chat here to Alex's channel. He's really good. I recommend watching all of his videos. He has some amazing stuff. He's how I learned a lot of things. He's the guy who made Magic Animate, if you know what that is. There's Alex's link. He's right. I just call him Alex because that's his name. But Mr. Alex Tech does a lot of great stuff. I've learned a lot from dissecting his tools. That's how I learned a lot of my macro skills. Is you look at people's tools that have already been made. You are able, like if it's already a macro in the edit page, you're able to convert that to a group, open it up. Yeah. Alex, okay, you got him. You're able to open up macros in the edit page, or in the Fusion page, and you can see the nodes that are inside of them. You'll see like the expressions and modifiers they used. Alex is a really funny dude. He is. I only aspire to be anywhere near as funny as that guy is. He has a lot of that British humor though, so it's definitely unique on YouTube. There's not a whole lot of British DaVinci Resolve makers or editors for YouTube. I may be wrong about that. If there are, let me know. I don't know many who are British and DaVinci Resolve editors who have like a unique humor like he does. Willem Justice, yes. He has amazing stuff. I have his, what is it? Squiggle? Not Squiggle. That sounds weird. Where is his pack? Is it generators? Just Squircle. Yeah, it's like that partial square circle thing. This thing. I got this pack, and it's really fun. I used it to mask out one of my cameras before in a video. It looks cool. I don't know when I'll ever use it again, but it's awesome. I also have his Willem Justice timeline script, which does a lot of really cool stuff. This looks like it may be his, like he's just learning how to script with this, potentially. Can you resize it? Yeah. As someone who's been scripting for like 2 months, his grid and border macro to make some pretty sweet transition. Yeah. I don't know if I actually have his grid and border macro. There was a recent release from somebody else on the We Suck West forum who made a grids. I really want to shout this out. Hold on, let me pull up the Discord and get his name real fast. Shadowmaker, yeah. Shadowmaker made this really cool tool. The timeline one, yeah, the timeline one's a little bit complicated, and I feel like he needs a better tutorial video for that. And I feel like it needs updated, because it definitely feels like one of his first Lua scripts that he's ever made, at least for Fusion. So it definitely feels like he's just getting used to it at that point. Maybe he's a couple versions in. But yeah, it has a lot of quirks. I haven't used it too much since then, but I have tried out the like text plus copy over tool, and that's really cool. But this guy, Shadowmaker, he made this amazing preset that it is paid. Just for clarification, I did pay this guy like 15 bucks. But 15 bucks for this cool tool, you're able to snap things to a grid. You can set the grid subdivisions and width height subdivisions and everything. You can hide and show it, put it under or over your layers, and you just drag an image or video into there, give it a little wiggle, and you have it there. I'm going to put it under so it's not in our face. We can show guides. If we have the Fusion overlay turned on, we can see the guides, and we can move it around, and we can also snap it to the grid, so the closest position wherever you have it set to, let's make it a little smaller, you can see it's currently centered. It's going to snap to the center points of each of these grid lines, we can make it a line to the left and like a line to the bottom. And now it's going to snap to in the bottom left of it in everything. Yeah, and at the end, you can just like hide the overlay of that, and now it's just in that position. Super crazy, super cool. And what I like to do is take in Mr. Alex Tech Magic Animate 3, slop it in there, and now you have like perfectly positioned logo, and it's just like in that position set for animations to be just easily turned on. It's gonna run like crap because I have 2 things on it, but there we go. Just really cool, really fast. Since Magic Animate like works from its original position and then it just animates from that, it's really cool to like apply that grids and guides first and then apply Magic Animate. Really cool. You can also do that just on a single image too if you don't want that whole thing with like 8 layers you can do. There's also an effective version for just the single grids and guides. And you can put it under again, snap that to grid, make it smaller, yeah, and snap it around. And you can like, there's no perfect way to get it like a center line, a center point. You can kind of guesstimate it, like that's roughly the center right there. And I think there's maybe a guides, yeah, there's a guides option up here for like center, and that's pretty close. It's not perfect, but it's hard to get perfect. But then that is, it's not gonna like permanently stay if you delete it. Like if you delete the effect, it's gonna go back to normal. Only because it doesn't actually change the stuff in the transform section up here. It's just changing stuff in Fusion that like affects how it looks on the other page. Why do I have a border? Why is there a border on that? What? Oh well, I don't know why there's just a random border. Oh, I have a grid on. I have half a brain cell sometimes. Okay. So, do you want to see the thing I keep teasing about first, or do you want to see me work on one of these? And like how I start building out some animations? Because for this, I have a bunch of... here, let me pull in the test that I made for actually exporting it. Generators, me, test 1. I have a bunch of presets made for this, and I want to have a couple more as well. I have a few presets that are like bar. This is based off of Willem Justice's bar preset that he has, but you can also do realistic, which gives like an actual drop-down option that'll like, this the mouse will go over, click it, it'll open up just like how you see it like the bottom of the video, and then it'll like click all, and it'll like close it back up, and you know, cool animation, all that stuff. You can do full screen, so it looks like you're looking at the bottom of a video. And then for each of these, we'll just go back to bar. You can enable a border around the outside, enable a border glow, and enable raise, which will look a little bit wonky and might get rid of raise. But then if you get rid of that, turn back on shadow now, you have a nice little drop down shadow. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the next part that I'm working on is just animating it. I won't talk about buttons in the next video, by the way. Buttons may be a couple videos from now because they are pretty complex. They use actual Lua code, so they are not straightforward as you may think. Like they actually take actual code and execute that. So it'll be a more advanced tutorial. I'm not entirely sure what the next video is going to be about yet. I'm probably going to figure that out tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon or something. So yeah, just wanted to let you know about that. But do you want to see me animating this stuff, working on the animations, or do you want to see me making something with the new secretive tool? Which, holy crap, I did a lot of talking there. That's me. That's me when I make my videos. I get talking and I get talking faster and faster and faster because this stuff's really cool. But like, I'm also trying to make a video and it's hard. It's hard to make stuff good and also not like 1,000 miles an hour. Like holy crap to the buttons or holy crap to all the nodes? Okay, I'm getting very mind-blown reactions from both of you, but I don't understand exactly what they're meaning. Let me go back to full screen real quick. The new tool? Okay, give me a quick second. I just want to see anything new pop up in the Discord. Not really, no. Yeah, the node tree. Yeah, no, it's huge. Let me give you a little bit of an insight for it real quick. So you can see not everything is connecting to the output. Right now, just this group is. And that this group is displaying this. And all of these different groups all use these nodes. And these nodes are each of these different elements of each thing. Like the channel name's right there, subscriber count is right there. We have your icon can go right there with your image right there. The bell, unclicked and clicked, the mouse, like button, subscribe button, everything has its own little asset. And then they're all being just reused all over the place. And then as you activate each button, like if we activate the whip bar, it will toggle off the current set of nodes and then toggle on the other set of nodes and then connect the new set of nodes to the output. Like this. That's what you can do with buttons. And if I click it again, it just turns it back. If I have this one on, and then I go over to this one, and turn realistic on, it just switches it over to there, and if I turn the realistic off, it switches it back over to the basic one. Pretty cool stuff. I learned some of that from Willem Justice's tools, but also I did know some of it from looking at the scripting guide. Which DaVinci Resolve has a scripting guide for Fusion, but it was made like 14 years ago, and it is kind of crap now. A lot of it's out of date. There's typos all over the place. Definitely not something to mull over and expect amazing results. But you want to see the new tool. Let me go ahead and see the new tool over here. So this is how I've been just showing it off. This is really easy to show off because there's just not a whole lot going on. We just got text. We got transform that's animating it in this. It animates it on and then back off. We have a glow going on and a camera shake going on to give it a little bit more variety. Let me make it a little bigger. You don't need to have that small. And then we have just a particle emitter for the sky, the space. And then we have just a black background. Not a whole lot crazy stuff going on. Let me add a new black background real fast. But this is not the new tool. Let me specify, this is not the new tool. Can you still see the chatting thing? I did not even realize you can still see eating and chatting. That's wild. Okay, so the new tool. Let me just show it to you, and then I want to see your immediate reactions. I'm just gonna quickly put together something, and I want to see if you guys can tell what's going on. I want to see your first thoughts on this thing happening. Can you guys tell what this is yet? Can you guys see it well? Maybe a little bit small. It's a little bit small. It's taking up a lot of my screen. But can you guys tell what I'm doing? But there may be some latency. You cannot tell. Okay, fair enough. So, let's just exit out of this. If you've seen my recent videos, you've seen me make a macro, right? Right click, macro, create macro, and you get this lovely macro editor. You can make a name for it. You can select all of your controls in the order that, you know, you selected the nodes in. That is a thing of the past. Because what you can do, if you're still new to making macros, something with glow and shake, fair enough. If you're new to making macros, you may not fully understand the whole difficulty behind everything. But this allows you to add a label for text, make it a drop down, and make hiding 15 controls. Add that label in there. We can add an image to it. We can just select one. Oh boy, I'm burping. It's the mac and cheese I ate. I'm going to select the Snap Ultimate icon, and we'll just call it Snap Ultimate. And we'll add it just right in there. We'll add a couple of controls as well. This is going to look weird because it's just me testing and showing it to you. But we can select all the controls we want to see. I'm selecting more than I wanted to. Oh no. Well, we can just uncheck those, remove them. Pretty easy. In the future, here soon, I actually am working on this currently. Right before the stream, I was figuring this out. I'm able to select multiple controls, and you'll be able to do up and down with them, move them up and down on the list, so you don't have to like remove a bunch of them and put them back in a different order and all that stuff. You can just redrag them or like order them differently. We can add a tab, so we have like a different page, like how this one over here has color, image, user, and settings. You can just add a tab for the camera shake. You can add your camera shake controls. So, and you can select these controls in any order. It does not matter. Like, you don't have to select the nodes in a certain order. You can just select your controls in whatever order you want. And you can make a name for your tool. My stream testing tool. We come over here and we can do a save as or a save as a group. We'll just do a save as. It's going to bring up a little window for us, and we're able to select it. It already brings us to the macros, to the like template folder where you put all of your dot settings files, and we can just put it into one of our folders here for generators. We'll put it in my company name, save that, wait for DaVinci to catch up because it usually has an aneurysm. And there we go. Hopefully it doesn't need a crash. Looks like we're good. And we can just drag in my stream testing tool. And it didn't work. What broke? What happened? What broke it? I don't know what actually broke it. That's so bizarre. Well, you can do stuff like I made a macro earlier today. This is, nah, that's another broken test. Here we go, my cool test tool. You can do cool stuff like this. Add a bunch of different tabs, add images into your controls list and all that kind of stuff. Add separator lines. You can even rename controls, change the default settings of the control, change the like minimum, maximum, the center points. You can adjust your labels in that tool after you've already made them. You're going to be able to edit expressions on controls in nodes that are in the preview list and controls that are in the preview list. You're able to edit the button codes on all your buttons, so you're able to like change all the different things. No, DaVinci is not very intuitive, especially when it comes to making macros. For half of this stuff, like for pretty much everything that you see here, adding these images, adding the drop down, adding the different tabs, you have to do all that in the code. Like you have to go into the macro code and just change it yourself. And while sure, if you know what you're doing, that's great, but that's kind of difficult to do for some people. Hey, thanks, Chad. I'm glad you're liking my stuff. Are you the same Chad in the We Suck Less forum? There's a chat on there who's oftentimes I see him in like the, what is it, the chilling section, the chat area. Yeah, the lounge. Thanks for enjoying my videos, man. I'm hoping to make some great stuff and share some knowledge with the people. Not you? Okay. Chad is a very common name. That makes sense. Well, you should join the We Suck Less forum. Pretty cool people over there. They may have a lot of cool presets and templates. They also made Reactor, if you know what that is. Do you guys know what Reactor is? That's actually a good question. I'd love to be the person to share that with you. But I was just showing off the macro editor that I'm working on as a little teaser for something coming up in maybe a month's time. You have Reactor? It's amazing. Speaking of Reactor, real quick announcement. If you know my animation utility tool, or my anim utility, that I released a while back, I don't know if any of you guys were here from then, for the club. Like the lounge? A few macros to animate objects and text, but anything more than that, it's a no-go. Macros are quite difficult, yeah. That's what my series is hoping to accomplish, to help educate people and make it a little bit easier for them. There's a lot to go over with macros, so it's probably going to be about a month of making videos. The shaders is probably my favorite node from Reactor. Shaders, I don't know if I have that. But I was saying, my anim utility tool, which allows you to animate any control in Fusion just at like a click of a button, is now in Reactor. You can get it from Reactor for free. All you have to do is, like, if you want to, you can send me a donation, but you don't have to. You can just download it for free and use it in your projects. It will install it for you pretty quick and easy. Yeah. I got that added on there today, so if there's any problems, do let me know. I'd love to be able to fix them as fast as I can. But the lounge, for the club, did you mean the lounge or the forum? Because it's a really cool forum. Here's the whole We Suck Less website forum page. But if you want the lounge, it's like a big button at the top. Is that the name of it, or is that what you're calling it? No, that's what it's called, yeah. Reactor is so good. You can get it from that website I just posted. It's got a bunch of crazy stuff. It's got a bunch of macros, scripts, presets, tools, fuses, various different other plugins that people have made, and it's so crazy. What does shaders do? Material shaders. Is that for 3D stuffs? Is that what they're meaning by material shaders? I'm gonna download that. Like, this is how easy it is to download stuff off Reactor. You click the check button or you click install, and you can install it. Also, I don't know if they've ever told anybody this, but you're able to like select multiple objects or things in the tree or the list here, and you can actually just install a bunch of them all at the same time. Like, you don't have to install them one by one like this. It's pretty cool. They didn't really like announce it, but it's really cool stuff. Xglow, yes, I use Xglow all the time. It is such a good node. You can't package it up in macros though, which I don't like because people won't always have Xglow. It's for textures. Okay, I'm gonna get that because in my 3D video, which I know you saw, you commented on it. I used USDs for like getting better textures because I'm like, oh, you can't make cool textures in 3D stuff. You can. I found it in Resolve after the fact. There's like a whole texture library that's built into Resolve, if you didn't know about that. It's taking a long time to download. Sometimes there's bigger stuff to download. There's just a lot of stuff that they package up in these, so there's a lot of stuff for you to use. But yeah, no, you can totally make like sort of textures for the regular 3D system in Fusion, but I think the USD system's better because you can do the depth maps and get the extra like details in there. Pretty cool stuff. It's taking way longer than I thought I was going to. Well, since we're talking about, oh, there we go. Since we're talking about Reactor, oh, it installed menus as well. Perfect. I was hoping it would. Since we're talking about Reactor as well, my macro exporter is also going to be able to export an atoms file or an atom file to put your project onto Reactor really easily. Like all you have to do normally for making an atom is go into tools and make atomizer, create a new atom project, select wherever you want it to like be made, select your project name and all that, and you put in all this boring information. But since it's just for macros, my macro editor is going to be, it's going to be way simpler. Like you don't have to do pretty much anything down here. It's going to automatically fill this in whenever you save your file somewhere, or actually it's going to put that file wherever you tell it to. You can make a description. I'm also going to be including this sort of thing with HTML code editing. You're able to select a default donation URL. You're able to make a default author name and a maybe not default tool or package name or version name, since that's all like per tool. But I think what I'm going to do, so with this macro editor, there's also the option to export a save file. What happened? Did it do the bug? It did the bug. There's a weird bug with DaVinci. I don't know why. There we go. Occasionally it just like says, oops, sorry, I can't deploy. Any chance it make it into, what do you call it? DR. I am adding a DRFX creator in this. Like you can save it as a DRFX or a grouped DRFX. And it currently makes the folder structure for the DRFX, but the DRFX will still need to be zipped and then renamed. Hopefully I can figure something out to avoid that. I'd like it so that everything is just done with the code and you don't have to do anything. It's just made. But it entirely depends. It's very much up in the air because I'm still trying to figure out the code for that. But you're able to save it as like a save file on your hard drive, and it all goes to the same folder so that you don't have to like worry about where it's going and lose it. But it creates what I'm going to be calling a DR macro file. It's just like, that's the extension, .dr macro. And it's going to just plop everything for the node for your macro into that folder or into that file, and maybe even store, I mean, I don't know, the reactor stuff may be entirely separate, but it's going to store maybe some default settings. But it's going to store all the information for your macro, and you can then reopen it at any point in time and don't have to have the settings file. So if you've lost that or given it away or deleted it or what have you, you can just open up the save that's created just in a constant folder that you won't, hopefully you don't go in and change, but you obviously can if you want to. That is just going to automatically go to that folder. You don't have to select where it goes, and you can just reopen it, like open recents, and it's going to give you an open recent option. And you're able to like select a recent one you've made, change the things in it. I think what we could do is, you may have to have the nodes in Fusion for it to work correctly, or I might find a way to paste the nodes back into Fusion for you. So all you have to do is like open up that save, and then everything just repopulates and everything re-adds to the Fusion comp. So you don't have to have everything still there. Because I think right now to edit macros in the macro editor in Fusion right now, you like have to have the original files, and like it has to be the macro. Like if I open up my cool test tool, this is not broken, right? It's not. Cool. If I open up this and were to go in here and right click macro And then this is like where you can find the stuff to edit. It's not in here because so it actually only gives you the option to edit the things in the macros folder, not actually in the template folder. So that's also something to note. You can't change stuff in the template folder, just stuff that's a macro, which macros also are nodes that you can make in Fusion, by the way. Like I have an opacity node that I showed off in the first tutorial that literally is just an opacity node with a mask option. Like you can do some cool stuff with that. But yeah, no, I'm hoping to be able to reopen previously made macros. So it's way easier to like change your macros so you don't have to keep going into the code, adjust where things are, adjust the layout, add a node to it potentially. That should be able to be done pretty easily. Yeah, I think it would be pretty easy to do. Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah. Yeah. I might add like a refresh button to the tool, thinking about it. Like a refresh node list. So that if you do have a new node that you want to select as well, you can just add that into there. Yeah. I think I might do that. Things I'm thinking of on the spot. We were going to work on making macros today, but it's already been about an hour, and I might wind it down for the evening. This has been fun. I love talking with you guys and chatting about cool stuff. Am I frozen? What's going on? There we go. I love talking with you guys, chatting about all the cool stuff that I'm making, and talking about your questions about me and about macros. I definitely want to do this next week. It's been pretty successful, and I think you guys have had a fun time with me as well. Hopefully, let me know. But yeah, I'm saying a lot because I don't know how to end this. New macro video coming out next week, and if you haven't seen the macro video from today, go and check that out. Have you thought about a video on how to make macro usable for the edit page? It's pretty easy, but I doubt everyone realizes it. What do you mean by usable for the edit page? Like making it a specific type of effect, like either effect or generator, title, or transition, like that? Or making it like formatted better? Like I'm not sure entirely what you mean. Or like where to put it. Next video I am talking about DRFX files. Like exporting those or saving those so that it's easy to share. And like how to install them and all that fun stuff. Actually, my first video, if you didn't know, my very, very first video from like months ago was me showing how to install files from Envato and Motion Array and stuff. I did that mostly for my company so that they had like a reference video. So that they can just easily watch that and be like, yeah, okay, this is how you do it. That's pretty easy. I mean, it's gotten pretty good views. It's obviously growing pretty slowly. It's my very first video and there's no production value whatsoever. I'm not even in the video. It's just my voice. But I'm showing how to like install settings files and stuff. Like how to make a drag and drop effect to use from the edit page. And the last video I kind of did, like the video from today, I kind of did. I did show like where to save it. And like it kind of made like a generator, I think, maybe a title. I don't remember. So I kind of showed that, but like... Hello? Did I lose you? Custom transitions, I will definitely make a video on because that's something that is definitely not enough presets are made for that. That's something that's very not made well in most cases. I hope I didn't lose you guys. I did drop for a second, it said. That was weird. So yeah, I think reconnection successful. Did I lose you guys? Hello? Am I still here? But I think you were talking about like drag and drop effects, like from the effects library over here. Like how I have my effects manager sort of right here. You can't see it. Oh, I was gone. Okay. My effects manager, if you haven't seen this before, I actually really like it. I based it off of like how Photoshop, or pretty much just Photoshop, has like obviously layered effects you can do. So I just made a quick a 4 effect thing as sort of like a test of a lot of things. This is back when I was still learning some things, so bear with me. But you're able to add a colored overlay, a drop shadow, a glow on the colored overlay when that's on, or when it's just the logo. You can add a stroke, add a glow on the stroke. You know, do a bunch of cool stuff. So yeah, I might try to make this. It's not as hard as people definitely think it is, but people will probably just think, oh, well, I need to make like a title that just generates itself, or I need to make a generator and do drag and drop and stuff like that. So yeah, I might do like drag and drop from the media pool, I mean. So yeah, I might do a video just about making effects, specifically the effects. It's just hard to like name videos for that kind of thing because people will read that and be like, oh, cool, I'm making effects. Oh, it's a macro video. What the heck? It's just like, what will people really be wanting to click on most? And I got to figure out how to like title it that way. And I'm still learning that too. So, yeah. And I will be doing transitions. I don't know if you caught that, but I will be doing a transitions video as well. I'll definitely have to do like individual videos for each different type of effect that you can make. In fact, that might be after this next one talking about exporting as DRFX files and maybe something else. I'll have to think of what else I can really bring into that video besides just DRFX files. One other topic or something else. I don't know. Maybe more user controls. People don't understand how to use the user controls. No, definitely not a viral video. Gotta clickbait. You need this amazing effect. Yeah. No, most macro topics are not viral videos. People don't really care about macros, or at least making macros. They just want to like have them done already. Like it's a very niche community right now. Like the We Suck Less forum. Well, there's a lot of cool people on there. The people who actually consistently reply are maybe like 10, maybe 20 people. And then like the occasional come or go and like post in a forum or post a thread and they're like, hey, I did this thing. And it's just like, yeah, there's not like a community built around it necessarily. There's obviously like a good handful of people, but there's really more of us. There's a lot out there that we can really do with these. Like Fusion is more customizable, especially when it comes to making presets, than After Effects and Premiere Pro is. I admit that. I think that that's my honesty. I'm definitely, you can do anything in Fusion that you can make in After Effects. I'm definitely on that train. As more people come to Resolve, there'll be more interest in it, but it's gonna take time. Yeah. There's been a huge influx of YouTubers, and I definitely want to like reach out to them and be like, hey, do you want a macro or toolmade to sell or to like get an interest in? Or I can like tutor you in it or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that can be made with Fusion that needs to be discovered or practiced. And I think Mr. Alex Tech definitely is a huge driver for like, you can make a lot of crazy stuff with this, and it's just up to your imagination and what people want. That's honestly the huge part of it. But it has been over an hour. If there's no more questions, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. But I'm gonna start winding down. Has my music stopped? Did I close my browser? What happened? Oh, it just paused the video. How long has that been paused? I didn't notice. I don't have my headphones on, and no one said anything, so I guess it was fine. We've just been chatting. I expected to be working on my macro a lot more, and not really having people to like chat with. This has been great. I wasn't sure who all would want to show up. I only had a couple responses to my community post. With a channel my size, I'm surprised I got any responses. But when I saw some responses, I was like, yeah, I really want to get into doing a live stream then. People would totally want to hear me talk about random DaVinci Resolve stuff for like an hour. But yeah, if there's no more questions, then I'm gonna wind it down. Hope you guys have a great night or more day or afternoon, evening, wherever you are. It's been great fun talking with you, and I hope you guys have a good one. Let me know any video ideas or any topics you'd love to hear stuff about. Oh, okay. You're in China just having your coffee. Just waking up, dang. I'm just about to go to bed. I got a friend request. Would somebody in here send me a friend request? Yeah, I'm hoping to do this next week. It may not be an every week thing, but definitely I want to do this next week too. Maybe every week building up to the release of this macro builder, this macro editor. This macro editor is going to be released in maybe a month's time-ish. Depends on if I get all the features done. But yes, definitely, Chad, you weren't here when I was mentioning it before, but I have a Discord down in the description if you want to join that. We can talk about macro stuff. You can ask me any questions directly right there really fast. I'll be available to answer whenever I get a chance to. But yeah, and if there's anybody else who knows the topic or the answer to, then they can help you out too. But yes, that is going to be it. Thank you everyone for joining me today on the stream. It has been a great fun chatting with all of you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week and at the next video. Bye.